breaking news. CM Punk was injured in the Royal Rumble. Torn tricep is going to be out for 4 to 6 months, which means he will be missing the biggest event of the year, WrestleMania. Something I know he was really, really looking forward to, getting back and making a play at one of those top spots. Main event night 1, night 2, doesn't matter. Just be in that vicinity somewhere. But now this right here pretty much throws a monkey in the wrench. CM Punk, 45 years old. And that's the question. Is it just as far as the time catching up? That's the thing. Yeah, and for me, that's what I think it is. I just think as far as the time catching up. I didn't see anything significant CM Punk did in the Rumble War. You go, ow. And that's when you look at professional wrestling, at least from my perspective. When I look at wrestling, I could be watching a match and everything could be doing some of the biggest moves. Boom, 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 boom. But when I go, ow, that means something happened. They landed the wrong way. Because, no. And I say that because I've taken a lot of bumps in the ring. And the only time it hurt was when I said, ow. It's as simple as that. That one word literally determines how bad it really is. Ow. So I didn't see anything with CM Punk in the Rumble where I said that. Did you see anything where it was significant? Where like you said, maybe that was a stinger or something like that. Maybe that was, maybe landed wrong or anything. Did you see anything?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, man. I will tell you, I noticed though that CM Punk. And I think I made a comment about somebody. I might have been talking to you or somebody. I said, man, Punk looks slow. Like he looked a little slow in the Rumble, and I thought he was just gassed. I thought, man, he looks like he's gassed. Now hearing this, it makes a lot more sense. Of they're saying when he took the DDT from Drew McIntyre, that it happened on that spot. Now, again, to answer your question, I didn't see anything that looked like he took it wrong or looked like it was given wrong or anything of that nature. To me, it looked like he was just a step behind. But now, like I said, hearing this, it makes sense. And it's just a bad break because when CM Punk came back in October of 2021 to AEW, it was like, man, Punk's back. Great, big moment. Then he has the match with Hangman Page, wins the title. The next night, he does the stage dive, and I believe he breaks his foot. And then you go to All Out 2022, which was like the infamous night in AEW. But in that match, he tore his tricep, I believe. Same injury with Jon Moxley, tore his tricep. I don't know if it's the same tricep here. And then he's back for a little while, runs, and I think he was in AEW until August of last year and hadn't had a TV match since then, but he was working house shows. I know he worked Dominic Mysterio at a house show. But anyway, saying all that to say, I agree. I just think that it's nothing that he's doing wrong. It's nothing he's taking wrong. It's just he's been in the business since 1998 or something like that, right? I mean, you're taking a lot of bumps, and Punk was the guy who on the Indies was doing hour and a half draws, 90-minute draws every night. That was something I've heard him and Chris Hero talk about a lot. That can only mean a lot more bumps than your average 11-minute match. So if you multiply that over your whole career, and he was known as a workhorse and was continued to be known as a workhorse during WWE and even his return to AEW, those 10 years that he had off, or those 8 years that he had off, that doesn't mean that the bumps on your bump card weren't already taken.
Yeah, I feel that way. One thing about getting older, the body just, it doesn't heal, faster. It doesn't regenerate muscle as fast. Of course, they say you lose a certain amount of muscle past, age, such and such every year. It's just one of those type of deals. I remember after I pretty much got out of the ring, and I pretty much went to my career injury free. Had my knee scoped twice. That was it. And I remember after my career was over with, and we were in Canada, and I was doing a promo. I don't know if I was a GM or whatever, but all I did was point, and I tore my tricep right off the bone. That's all I did, just pointed. And I go, well, oh, ow, that hurt. You know what I mean? It was one of those type of deals. I went to the medic and they looked at it. Then I ended up going to the doctor, and the doctor said, yeah, it's ripped off the bone. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell? I mean, but just something as simple as that. I wasn't wrestling. I wasn't in the ring. I wasn't taking any bumps or anything. It was just, probably all the wear and tear. And I was at that point, I had been working out in the gym still, even though it hurt. I'm still in the gym working out. I'm thinking it maybe just be, I don't know, wear and tear on the old muscle or whatnot. But that's all it is. I think I don't think it's him doing it. He didn't do anything, like I say, significant where you would have thought, he would have hurt himself. What we talk about, just last week, the article that came out as far as guys, training a certain way and going out there and getting hurt. I don't think that's what it is. I just think in the ring, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, and especially when you get older. I remember I was working Kevin Nash and he threw a boot, hit me right square in the jaw, bang, and blew his knee out. It was one of those type of deals. So it's like it's just when you get older, you can't go in there and do the things you did like you did once upon a time. You know what I mean? Like, even though I say, how you gonna tell a man he can't go out there and do it like that? No, well, damn it, you can't. It's just one of those deals, man. And you just gotta, definitely be cautious and look at it a certain way when you get to that certain age. It's just as simple as that.
It's got to be a tough news to receive from CM Punk,
Oh
um,
man,
for CM Punk because we talked about it last week. He's always wanted to go out there and main event WrestleMania, and it looked like, again, I know you don't like to book the show, but he was in prime position to do so. Night one of WrestleMania main event, you cannot convince me that it wasn't going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's what it looked like it was going to. And now knowing that you're gonna have to sit on the sidelines, WrestleMania 40, perhaps the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and know that could have been your spot. God, that
yeah.
sucks, man. I do feel bad for him in that respect
I
completely.
mean,
You never want to see anybody get hurt.
and coming back and being in the spot to actually, come out and be in the Royal Rumble, even though he said there's two things that he wanted to do was win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania. Well, he didn't win the Royal Rumble, but he had a hell of a spot in the Royal Rumble. And then to go on to WrestleMania, it would have been a great Cinderella story for him. It would have been a great Cinderella story for him. But there again, man, stuff like this happens. Hopefully he'll get himself back together. And, I mean, 4 to 6 months, it's a long time sitting on the shelf. And this thing of, like I always say, out of sight, out of mind is one thing, but time off being your worst enemy. I really do believe that for a wrestler because just think about it. I think CM Punk probably have been getting hurt more just because he's been out of the ring. Just that long. What? How many years he was away from it?
8,
Man,
9 almost.
that's a long time to just think you can restart the engine and just go back and do it like you did once upon a time. That's a really long time to be sitting. And there again, your body's going to go through a transformation in that 8 years, and then you boom open that wound all over again. Man, it's not as easy as it's not like getting on a bicycle or anything like that. I can only imagine being out of this for 8 years and then coming back and trying to boom restart it and just take off and go, scissor kick, spin a Rooney. Oh man, I can only imagine.
How much did that surgery and I guess injury, because you did the same injury, because they're saying you tore off the bone. One, how much did it hurt? What was your surgery and rehab like from it? Even though you weren't actively competing at the time, I can only imagine you wanted to still stay in shape. What was the recovery process like?
Well, that's when they gave me that Dilaudid.
Woo!
Yeah, that's when I was in there. But I
Playing the
had,
PGA.
yeah, that was in the PGA. I was hallucinating. I was doing all kinds of stuff. But I was in some major, major pain because I had a staph infection.
Mm.
Also, not only did I tear the tricep, I had a staph infection at the same time. And so I had to recover from one before they could actually do the surgery. And it was a nasty, nasty, nasty thing. But it was a painful, painful process for me with that elbow surgery. Even now, my elbow feels, a little funny. It's not as, it's not as formed as my other one. It's got a little, it's a little different. Yeah, it's a little different.
Man, it sucks. Definitely sucks. I know there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to CM Punk being out. That's the if people are just seeing this in the live, CM Punk is out 4 to 6 months due to an apparent tricep injury he had in the Royal Rumble. I know there's more to talk about with this though. But
Talking about CM Punk going to be out for 4 to 6 months, torn tricep. I don't know. What do you think's next for CM Punk? What do you think's next? You think you're going to be able to come back and jump right back in the saddle and keep it going?
yeah, I don't know. The question that you pose, I don't know what it looks like. I mean, I would imagine they're gonna find something for Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. There's so much talent on the roster. There's so much talent. Whether you want to keep running with him and Drew, whether you want to slot LA Knight into that position, whether you want to slot Gunther in that position. I mean, there's a ton of guys they could put, which is great in that world title shot. AJ, Randy, Kevin, Sammy. They're embarrassment of riches right now in WWE. Now, was the biggest match you could make for the World Heavyweight Championship him and Seth Rollins? Yes, it was. And that's going to suck, that he's not going to be there. Now, what does it look like when he comes back? 4 to 6 months. Could put him here around time for SummerSlam. Still have a big match. Come back and try to, challenge for the world title there. But I think that this is a big blow for him. And to me, he's got a lot less matches in front of him than he does behind him. And every month seemingly is important. But now I say that he's 45. Sting's about to wrestle his last match. He's 64, I believe. So, you can have time. You can have time on your side. But I do worry about this because you see this a lot with athletes. When one injury starts happening and then 2 injuries starts happening and there's a third one, it normally is a sign to see. Do you remember, God bless his soul, but do you remember Kobe at the end of his career? It seemed like always something was going on with his legs. Every season he was out, ACL, Achilles, whatever it was. Always something going on. And just when you are so competitive for so long, as you say, Father Time waits for no man.
Waits for no man.
And sometimes you talk about the old bones.
The old bones, man, start getting a little crickety. And that's just part of life. You wake up one day, you feeling fine, and you get on a plane, you land in Chicago, and it's cold, and you get off the plane, and next thing you know, your knee is hurting like, somebody whacked it with a sledgehammer. You go, what the hell is going on? I used to hear the old stories, the old grandmothers, the old grandfathers, it's getting ready to get cold. I can feel it. I always
feel it in my bones.
I can feel it in my bones. I always thought that was just talk. I'm serious. I thought that was just talk, man. But no, that's true, man. Especially after you've been in the game, you've had certain injuries. It's like my neck. I could tell when it's getting ready to get cold. My neck can start feeling a little funny. I don't know what it is, but that's just part of the game, man. That's just part of the game, and it is going to be tougher for CM Punk to just jump right back in the saddle and to be able to go out there and have those big matches and 30 minutes, because I really think, unlike, just say for instance, Chris Jericho, and the reason why those guys are still able to go out there and still do it, because they never stopped. I really believe if they stopped, they would be going through the same exact thing that Punk's going through right now. I remember
Great point.
Chris Carter retired from the Minnesota Vikings back in the day. He's like, I'm done, and then he wanted to make a return, and he came back for one game, and he retired again. He was like, what the hell was I thinking? The game in 1 year had gotten that much faster, and his body had gotten that much weaker. You know what I mean? So as well as Father Time had caught up with him. Just one of those things. So no diss, no. But I do hope hope CM Punk can get himself back together and get right back on. Because look at me, look at my tricep, look at my tricep. Oh yeah, man. Shoot. Gonna get some.
Yeah, we wish CM Punk a speedy recovery. You never want to see anybody go down